Hey everybody, this is Glenn and welcome to Glenn's Q-Town Eats, your source for good recipes and good grub. What's more American than apples and pumpkin? And what's more fall than apples and pumpkin? Well, today I'm gonna combine the two and make a roasted apple and pumpkin soup. So let's get started with the ingredients. Okay, let's go through the ingredients here that we're gonna need for this roasted apple pumpkin soup. The first thing we're going to need is 3 cups of tart apples. And I have Granny Smiths here. I think they're the best for cooking because they're firm. They hold on to their, they don't get mushy or anything like that. They kind of stay hard. So I'm going to cut these up a little later because I don't want them to start turning brown. I want to make sure they're pretty fresh when I get out of there. So let's, second thing I'm going to need is a half cup or a little over a half cup of chopped onions, finely chopped onions. I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of butter, which I cut here. I'm going to need a tablespoon of just flour, all-purpose flour. I'm going to need 4 cups of chicken broth, and I have that here. If you make your own, that's fine. If you can use the can that you get in the store too, whatever your preference is, you go for it. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to use 3 cans of pumpkin, and you can see I have them in a pot here, and I'm going to show you what I do here. I'm just using the regular pumpkin that's in a can. This is real pumpkin. A lot of people say, oh, it's canned, but it is real pumpkin, 100% pure pumpkin. Don't get the one that says pumpkin pie mix, because that would have your cinnamon and everything in there already. Make sure you just get the 100% pure pumpkin. You want to get, what do you call it? if you want to get adventurous, there we go. There's the word. You can steam your own pumpkin or roast your own pumpkin and then mash it up. But like I said, this is just pumpkin. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how kind of take that canned tin flavor out of there. But we'll get to that in a second. I need 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. And in this bowl here, where is it? Here. Okay, here we go. I have my spices. I have 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and that's my cinnamon. I have 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and I grind my own nutmeg. I'm going to show you, I have this grinder here, and if you just press down on it, you can see in here is a piece of nutmeg, like that, and you just push this in like this and close it up. And I'm going to see if I can get it over here where you can see. This is a great gadget. It's better than using that canned stuff like or the bottled stuff. But you can see, just grind it right in here and you have fresh nutmeg. But that's what I use there. And also in here I have a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. So, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All right, so let's see. Now, you need unsweetened apple juice. Because it's fall, I'm using actual cider. I have this cider here that I bought in a little container here from my local market, not market, but a farm stand. So that's what we need here. We're gonna need a 1/2 cup of heavy cream at the end. So we'll measure that out later. So let's get going and start up and get the soup going. Okay, as I said before, this canned pumpkin, it's real pumpkin. However, it does get that canny taste to it. So in order to get that canny taste out, we're gonna cook it a little bit first. So let me get my whisk here. And we'll just let this come down and like cook just a little bit. And I don't want to cook it too much, just till it gets warm, basically. So let that go for a few seconds, and we'll come back. And like I said, this takes that canny taste out of the canned pumpkin. Okay, the pumpkin is just warm now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those spices. That's the cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, salt, pepper. And I'm going to give this a stir here. So that's all incorporated in there. And I'm going to turn up the heat. And we're going to set this aside. At the beginning, the rest of the soup. All right, so let's put that aside. All right, we're back over here. I'm gonna do the apples now. So what I do is I have a peeler here, and I'm just gonna peel the apples. Doesn't have to be perfect, because you're gonna blend this anyway, and that'll be a later process. But I'll just do one apple for you, show you how I do it. And again, we need about 3 cups of these diced here. And let's get the bottom piece over there. That's where that sticker was. I was wondering why it wasn't on the apple. Throw that over there. All right. Get around here. There we go. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do here. Is I'm going to cut 4 ends off here like that. 1, just around the corner. 2. And then we got, let's see, go this way, and then down this way. Good. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm going to lay this down like that, and I'm just going to cut here, and then cut this way. And that's the way we dice these apples up. Again, I'll get the rest of these done, 3 cups, and we'll come back. Doesn't want to shut off on me, huh? Okay, as you can see, I have my 2 tablespoons of butter melted here. And we're going to add to that my apples. Again, I have 3 cups. Be careful when doing that. You don't want to splash hot oil on yourself. Hot butter, I should say. So, all right. So then 3 cups of apples. Let me get a wooden spoon here. Give this a stir and get these apples coated with that butter. And we're going to cook these probably about 5 minutes. So I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me cook these just so the apples get softened. So we'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay, we have about 20 more seconds left on there. So you can see these apples are slightly softer, but still maintaining their shape. So that's good. So what I'm going to add to that is my, if I can bring it, 1 tablespoon of flour. And what we're making here is actually a roux, R-O-U-X, which is going to be the thickening agent to this. It's going to thicken up, not a lot, but just a little bit. So let's hit that timer button there. And let's stir this and get these all coated on here with the flour. Good. I'll let that go for about a minute and just make sure that flour cooks in there. Not too long. And then I'm going to grab this, and we'll come back in a second. I'll make you watch it because it's not going to be too long. All right. So now I have my chicken broth over here. And I'm going to pour this in slowly and stir as I'm pouring. Take your time with this because this will help the thickening process. If you do it too fast, it won't thicken as much. And scrape. Oh, a little steam there. That's all right. Take your time with it. There's no rush. Scrape all these down on the side here. smells amazing right now. Wish you could have some. That's not finished yet anyway, but that smell of the apples cooked in butter, pumpkin. There we go. Excellent. All right, we'll get that out of there for a second. And I'm going to grab the spatula here. And we're going to add our pumpkin that we pureed, not pureed, that we cooked in the pan here with the spices. And we're going to add that. It's a very healthy dish too. Trying to get it all out of here. I almost got it all. A couple more here, scrapes. All right. Put this over here. And we're going to whisk this into there. And we're going to bring this to a boil. And I'll come back when it's at a boil. You can see how nice and thick it got, right? In that roux. So let's come back when this is brought to a boil. One thing I forgot to add is the sugar. Can't forget that, right? Yeah. Stir that in there. All right. Okay, let's get this back to a boil. Okay, you can see this is starting to boil here. Let me give it a stir here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover it. And we're going to let this simmer, which is just a small boil, so I'm going to just turn it down a little bit here. And I'm going to keep a watch on it, make sure it does simmer. And we're going to let it simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes. So let that go. Well, I'll keep stirring it a little bit as I go along to make sure, you know, it's simmering and nothing's sticking to the bottom there. And we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, it's been going about a half an hour now. You can see it's nice and simmered. I'm going to remove the lid. Be careful when you remove the lid to steam. And our next process, I'm going to shut off the heat here, is twofold. Not twofold, but you have a choice of how you're going to do it. I have here a blender, a hand blender. I call it my boat motor. I have that, but if you don't have this, you can use a food processor or a blender. And if you're going to use either one of them, you got to do this in batches because it will splatter up on you. So you got to do it in small batches. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend this until it's all smooth. So put my boat motor in there, and I'll go around until all these chunks are gone. Take a few minutes. So you can see how nice and thick that soup is. Yeah. Again, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me blend this. We'll come back when it's all blended and you can see the product. Okay, we're all finished and you can see how nice and smooth the soup is now. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to let it sit here, cool down, and let those flavors blend in for a while. I'd like to do at least 8 hours, but if it's not, it's fine. You just want to let it cool down and kind of let those flavors go. So we'll come back in a little bit. Okay, let's finish this soup off. As I said, it's been sitting for a couple hours here. And I'm just going to give it a stir here. And to that, I'm going to add my 1 cup of apple juice, or unsweetened apple juice. But in this case, I'm adding cider because it's available right now. It's usually available all year round, but I'm just going to mix that in here. That's a good mix. And then I'm just going to grab my half and half. I don't want that to get wet. Okay, we have the 1 cup half and half. I'm adding in here. A little creaminess in there. Got a good mix here. All right. Put this aside here and let me grab a bowl. And a ladle here, and look what this looks like served up here. There you go. There it is, baked apple and pumpkin soup. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this version of Glenn's Q-Town Eats. Roasted pumpkin and apple soup, a really good fall meal. Actually, if you want to serve it on Thanksgiving, it's really good. It's got apples and pumpkin in there, which are really Thanksgiving-ish, and if you that's a word, I'm not sure. But if you like what you see here, please leave a comment. Also on my YouTube channel, Glenn's, that's Glenn 2 N's apostrophe S, Q-Town Eats. If you go over there and you hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. The more subscribers I get, the better. I like to know that people are watching and enjoying my recipes. So again, leave a comment, and until we meet again, God bless. And I leave you with this from the Bible. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never thirst. Again, God bless until we meet again.